Hello Wanderers, welcome back to another Crusader Kings 3 roleplay episode following Clan Stjarna, and as you will remember from the last episode, we finally have created the Duchy of Navarra, or the Jarldom of Navarra in this case, and we left the last episode on a question of whether or not we would join the Kingdom of Aquitaine by swearing fealty to our nephew King Simon, or continue to forge out a path on our own. Now, obviously, I was leaning more towards swearing fealty due to the gameplay reasons. It would be more fun and more interesting to play as a vassal before branching out. But I also believe that the roleplay reasons back that decision up. And it seems like most of you agreed. And the reasons being that, one, we obviously have a close alliance with our nephew. We consider him to be a good man, an honorable man. But even more than that, during the conquest of Navarra, when we were laying siege to the enemy capital, we fought in battle against the enemy armies, and it was King Simon personally leading the Aquitanian forces who joined us in battle to rout the enemy, and then joining us in the siege of Tudela, using his siege engines, helped us conquer the enemy lands. And I think that that has a lot of sway with us as a warrior and as a leader. Seeing King Simon doing that for us will have left a good impression on us. There are many other reasons, of course. Protection and opportunity abound, and so I think especially our wife, being a politically savvy person, will have gently swayed us to the option of swearing fealty to King Simon, which is what we will be doing, but we will not be doing that just yet. No, and first, before we do that, we are going to raise all of our armies as raiders, and that is because our Nordvina warriors, all of these great warriors who have come to join us in this conquest in forging a new realm here, they will not be pleased necessarily with us joining in this kingdom and potentially following more of the ways of the Western Europeans. In order to appease them, we ourselves go to our Nordvina warriors and we say, yes, this is what we are going to be doing, but before that, we are going to go on the greatest raid we have ever gone on. We are going to bring back more loot, more treasure, more captives than any Viking raider has ever seen before, and that is how we will forge our legacy. So although there may be some disgruntlement at what the future may hold, I think that this will be enough to appease our Nordvina warriors and give them something to retire on eventually. All this loot will no doubt do them well as they settle into life here in Navarra. So we are going to raise our armies there. And the question is where to raid. Well, I would like to raid Kurtuba, because that would probably be a lot of money right there, I am sure. Yeah, 93. We could basically fill up if we raided that one place, but his army would crush us. Alsark would be another potential target, and they do have plenty of money here, but they have a very large army as well, and I am a little bit concerned about that. However, there's the option here of Zenzir, and raiding the coast here of Zenzir, I think we could potentially have a very successful raid, and I think that is where I am leaning. We haven't had much contact with this Malik Ayub ibn Muhammad of the Umayyad dynasty. Oh, okay, so he's an Umayyad. We haven't had much contact with him, but he is about to have some very close contact with us. And I am excited to see what kind of loot and treasure we will bring back. Jarl Eiriker is the new head of the Stjarna Dynasty. We will be going at some point later in this episode and taking a look at some of our relatives. We'll also be taking a look at Satordi's family tree, particularly on his mother's side, as some of you had requested, but we'll be doing that a little bit later in the episode. For now, our focus is going to be on raiding. I do want to switch myself to the commander because obvious reasons. Raid or trade as my troops prepare to sack the land of Batalias. Our scouts report back. We could make a deal here. We could make a deal with the Malik, but we have promised our warriors raid and plunder, and we are going to give it to them. So we can expect that they are probably going to raise their army to try to face us. I don't know if their army is going to be enough to match these Nordvina warriors. We'll probably make our way somewhere kind of along down here if we can. We'll maybe take this. Could we go upriver? There's some options upriver as well. Oh, fire and blood. The settlement of Muassasat Batalias, an important stronghold in the Greater Lands, has fallen to my raiders. We have the run of vast tracts of land and many of the quivering subjects and shining treasures of Malik Ayub to choose from. I would like to bring some captured skilled slaves for Pamplona. I would like to increase the development in Pamplona for sure. So that is what we're going to do there. I think we'll raid this Wilaya. That's going to give us some money. Yeah, we might head back up here. I don't want to lose too many troops to attrition. So we might potentially raid along the coast and fill up our coffers full of money that way. I think that may be the best option. We shall see though. I'm not too concerned if they bring their army against us. I'm not even sure where their army is. They don't seem to have anything else going on. I would be expecting them to face us in battle, but perhaps they are too cowardly and fear the Nordvina warriors. I would not blame them. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, we'll hit this, we'll hit that, we'll hit that. And then maybe make our way across the land back to the coast. Oh, when we captured the Malik's wife. I'm sure you would... Oh, he cannot pay for the ransom. Or no, he can. He can afford it, but he won't because he's greedy. Oh my gosh, well, I guess your wife is going to stay in our prison until you decide to be a little bit more loose with your coin, Malik. Let us continue these raids. He's going to have to be loose with his coin because we're going to take it all. Here we go. He changed his mind. Understandable. We will let you have your wife back, but we will continue to raid your lands because that is what we Nordvina warriors do, at least for now. Another martial lifestyle perk, promising prospects. This is going to come in handy when we become a vassal here. I want to finish off this tree, get to Gallant, then potentially go down the strategist route in our later years. There we go. We captured the Sheikh's brother. How about a ransom for you? 10 coins? I'll accept it. Remember, our entire goal here is just to bring back as much loot and money as we possibly can. We're already almost filled up on our raid loot here, which is fine. That is fine. Once we are full, we will return to Navarra. So here we go. We're going to capture this. We might only need one more place, potentially. A new Nordvina warrior. He's pretty young, gregarious, patient, humble. I like you. You're not good at anything other than fighting, but we need warriors, so yeah, we'll recruit you to court. Oh man, he probably proved himself in this battle here. Ooh, and we captured a sheikh. How much will you pay for yourself? 50 coins? Good. We'll take it. There we go. We're making plenty of money. Peasant's lesson. I'm no better than anyone else. I can always learn something from everyone. Even the lowliest beggar or the most foolish imbecile have something to tell me. Today, while surveying a nearby town, one of the peasants taught me a profound lesson. Humility is the only way to understand the world, after all. I wonder what we're going to get here. I didn't really see what went up for us. Unless it was intrigue and we just suck at intrigue so bad that even the peasant's lesson couldn't improve us. But it is nice to know that we are a humble man. Here we go. I think this raid should potentially be filling up. Yeah, we are full of loot. So let us return. No. Get on the river, get on the river. We are not walking all the way across the enemy mountains here. Don't be ridiculous. So yeah, there we go. That was our great and final raid here to satisfy the greed of our Nordvina warriors, and no doubt they will be satisfied. Many captured slaves, much loot, a lot of prisoners, and now we can return to our lands. Everybody has money, and that will no doubt be a pleasant prospect for those who have served us very well. And you wish to pay for your son as well. Naturally, we will accept that. Yes, we will have a lot of money going in to this contracted fealty with the King of Aquitaine. Another ransom. Yes, of course we will accept all of these ransoms. Give us all your money here. And then we bring back all of this. Look, our coffers are full, more full than they have ever been. The warriors are happy. They went and they rampaged across the land. And I think they can finally be sated. We'll disband our army. And now we will travel northward to Bordeaux, the lands of King Simon, to swear fealty. So let us see what our nephew has to say. Satordi, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful vassalship, signed King Simon of Aquitaine, my liege. There we go. So what will we do first? Well, I think there are a few potential options. Here we can petition the liege. Can we pay homage? Let us see here. Petition liege. We might do that in a moment. Let us see. Maybe an event comes up for that. Or perhaps not. Okay, so we cannot pay homage, but we could petition our liege. Do we want to do that just yet? Let us see. Well, first things first. All right, so we decided we are going to adopt the feudal ways. That has been the plan all along, and that is, I believe, a very important part of our goals here, is to become westernized, essentially. So the old ways have served us well, and we will always honor them. Of course, we will always honor them. However, as the Jarl of Navarre, I have concluded that we must adopt feudalism and its principles if we shall continue to prosper. It is the crucial next step on our road to greatness. Long live Navarre. So now that we are feudal, we can pay homage. So we will do that first. And we, I believe, will pay homage. We did get all of this raid loot. We brought it all back. I think that we will be paying homage with a gift of gold to the king Homage, taking the knee. Servants usher me into King Simon's great hall in Bordeaux, where he sits his throne, waiting to hear my pledge. I kneel at the feet of my lord and pledge many oaths of homage as his scribes record the event. My attendants then follow, presenting my rich gifts to the king before the assembled court. Simon bids me arise and confirms his satisfaction along with my rights to the lands I rule in his stead. Now, a large part of this and bringing this money and treasure here to King Simon was the doing of our wife, and no doubt she would see this as us presenting a strong face in the name or in the presence of the other vassals, to show that we are rich, we are powerful, and we have the favor of the king. So here we go. We shall pledge fealty to King Simon. There we go. And we are now officially a vassal of the Kingdom of Aquitaine. Now there is the question of our vassal contract. Now, obviously, we wish to become a march. That is the entire purpose of why we became a vassal of Aquitaine, why he would accept us as a vassal, is to have this march in the south, to protect from Asturias, to protect from Al-Andalus, to protect from Al-Sark. That is our purpose. So we will modify our feudal contract for that, and he would accept this. He would accept this. Our army gold maintenance goes down. We get some advantages with levy size, garrison size, reinforcement rate, controlled territory, defender advantage, huge bonuses all across the board. That is exactly what we want. But I think we might want something else, such as guaranteed council rights. We are related to this royal family. We are descended from two royal families ourselves. I think not having a place on the council would be a massive disappointment and dishonor. He won't accept this, but if we say, well, we will pay you slightly more in taxes, we will give you some taxes rather than no taxes, he would accept this. War declaration sanctioned. I don't think we need this now because they are at low crown authority. So we may want to get this later on. I'm not too concerned with him revoking our title as well because it is low crown authority. So I think this contract currently is exactly what we need. So we are now the March of Navarra. And that puts us in a very interesting position. So let us take a look at the court of King Simon. Well, actually, first let's see what kind of council position he is going to be willing to give us. Let us see here. Oh yeah, okay. So he just accepted our deal there. Now, what kind of position on the council will he give us? I am curious to see, or do we already? Yeah, so we don't have one already. I would love to be the marshal. I wouldn't mind being... So we could be the chancellor, the steward, or the marshal. I'm leaning towards marshal. That would probably be where we are best suited. But let us see. Will we need to petition him for... yes, so we will need to petition him first to grant us the council seat. So let us come to King Simon. I am escorted to him, where he beckons for me to approach and address him. I elucidate my abilities, proven and otherwise, that make me a suitable candidate to be the king's marshal, requesting the position as his advisor. I certainly can't do any worse than Mayor Isabeau of Belay. After listening to the speech, he smiles warmly at me and states, "Absolutely, uncle. I shall dispatch my agents immediately to take care of the matter." And thus we become the marshal, which is exactly what we were looking for there. So, as you can see, increased prowess, decreased army gold maintenance, increased levy size, monthly martial lifestyle. We are going to potentially have a very large army here. We got a bunch of bonuses to our army through being a march and through being a marshal. So that is exactly what we want here. But let us take a look at the other members of the council. Obviously, the queen's wife has some influence, but she is impatient, she is shy, she is craven. This is also our half-sister, I should point out. She is reclusive. She probably has almost no influence on the council. The archbishop here, who actually looks very favorably upon us. Let's just slip that out of the way. The archbishop here looks very favorably upon us. He is temperate, he is patient, he is zealous, insightful thinker, scholarly courtier. He probably saw that we converted to Catholicism, and he takes a favorable look upon us at that point. So he will be an interesting person to work with. Duchess Adelaide of Armagnac, of Vasconia Pau. She is lazy, impatient, and humble, but she is also an insightful thinker, wise woman. Interesting. Flagellant, hale, club-footed. Interesting person to have gained a position of power in this council. She is more learned than anything else. Very curious. I'm interested to see how that goes out. She obviously looks very favorably upon us as well. Pretty much everybody in the council here does, for obvious reasons. Duke Ramnulf the Fourth with the tress. Duke Ramnulf with the tress. Interesting. He is an ugly man, but he is the loyal man. Generous, arbitrary, gregarious. He is the steward, and he seems like the type of steward who probably holds a lot of tournaments and hosts a lot of feasts, things like that. That seems like the type we're looking at here, but he is loyal to the king. And then here we have the spy master, Duke Anso the Impaler, the one who likes us the least, but is still favorably inclined towards us. He is wrathful, he is cynical, he is fickle, intricate web weaver, and a torturer, and irritable. Not the type of guy you would get along with, but I'm glad that he is not our enemy. So matters on the King's Council look pretty good for now. We do actually, as you will remember, have a claim on his lands, but I don't think we're going to be doing anything about that just yet. Defender of the Faith. There was a commotion among the children today. Styrkarsson was attempting to preach among his fellow youngsters and became the target of a small fight. Aurea was furious that anyone could target someone attempting to speak on behalf of Christ and chased away the other children. Interesting here. So, our daughter has defended our young son who was just talking about the Bible. You know, nothing wrong with that. She defended him because he was being bullied for that. I think that you will serve the divine well, child. I think having a daughter who is very religious, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you combine that with deceitful, humble, zealous, it's an interesting combination for a young woman, but not a bad one. So there's not much we can do just at the moment. We have kind of settled most matters here. We are not endorsed by our bishop. We still have few knights. We can't invite any more just yet. We could recruit this guy to our court, Kolik. Yeah, you're pretty good. We'll recruit you. Whoa, I did not look at the amount of money he demanded before that. Well, that was a mistake, but just goes to show that sometimes you still make mistakes in this game. Well, you better serve us really, really well there. I don't know why we splurged that much money on him, but I'm not going to go back and change that. I should look a little closer next time. Explorers from the west. My evening has been consumed by an aged explorer, Sirtia, wishing to tell me of the exotic stories of their exploits and adventures in the Atlantic Ocean. Despite his age, Sirtia's eyes remain sharp as he tells me of a land of poor, struggling Norse who live in the snows close to the top of the world. The land is so frozen and cold, they must import all timber and eat almost entirely meat and fish. Though the hour grows late, Sirtia seems more than willing to carry on. So is he talking about Iceland, most likely, or maybe Greenland? Interesting. We could potentially gain some knowledge from him. We could gain critical thinker. We could lose some stress. I think we want to hear this man's words. I think he probably has some interesting stories to tell. So while time passes by a little bit here, we did have some folks who wanted to take a look at our relatives. We're going to pop this back for a second. So Jarl Alfir, we took a look at him last episode. It does look like he lost some land here in northern Scotland to Connacht, which is quite a powerful kingdom, actually. Tons of strong alliances, a lot of troops. Jarl Alfir here is going to definitely need some allies here if he wishes to survive up in northern Scotland here. I am very curious to see whether he will. Bjarmaland still seems to be suffering from a long insurrection, though King Rikelfir, our nephew, does seem to finally be getting it in hand. Our younger brother, Chieftain Vigfus, part of the rebellion. We shall see if he actually retains his position afterwards, or if he will be executed by the arrogant and sadistic King Rikelfir. We shall see. And then we come down to the south to Moesia, where Jarl Eirikir, the head of the house, rules. Now he is a very interesting guy. We like Jarl Eirikir. Ambitious, just, fickle, fortune builder, architect, profligate, drunkard, adventurer, strong, and a poet. This guy's got a lot going on, and he's actually forged a pretty nice little land here. Like, if he could take the capital of Bulgaria here, he would have something very nice. He is just north of the fracturing Byzantine Empire, though they are still pretty strong. So we will see what happens with Jarl Eirikir there. We will take care of this little event here. A renowned trainer has approached me after hearing rumors of my mighty stallion Velon Teeth and offers his services. All I ask in return is a small compensation. He needs to be stronger. I think we would want a horse that will be stronger. And we do have money to spend indeed. We can spend more than this. We do have a strong warhorse now. That'll be another advantage. Look at our prowess, 23. That is a nice bit of prowess there. Anyways, as I was saying, I would like to potentially build a construction here. We can't build any duchy ones, but we can build some regular buildings here. So what are going to be our best options? Military camps, potentially a good one. I'd like to maybe go for the barracks. So yes, we will start building a barracks here and in Irun, which is our other land. I would like to go for a trade port to increase our money, which is not doing super good now. We're not losing money, but we're not making money either, and I would like to make money. I would like to increase the crown authority. Oh, is this... Would this be for us, or was this in the... No, this is just the Duchy of Navarre. Oh yes, because we switched to feudal. So yeah, we are going to increase our crown authority here to limited crown authority in the Duchy of Navarre. because that will be ideal for us. We will want the bonuses from that. Is everybody doing what they need to promote cultural acceptance? That is what we want to be doing because we want to potentially hybridize our culture, increase control in county. Yes, that is good. Foreign affairs, excellent. Court politics, excellent. Religious relations, even better. And we are endorsed by our bishop now. That is good. And our son needs a guardian. Well, obviously we are going to raise him ourselves to be a great Nordvina warrior. So the question from here becomes, what do we do? What do we do from here? We still have the option of declaring war. We can still potentially declare a holy war for the duchy here. That is honestly looking pretty appealing. I am definitely not opposed to expanding southward. Maybe forming a march that goes all the way across here and just locks the Pyrenees here, and then the Aquitanians can join in and take that little bit of our Alsarc. I think I would very much like to do so, but we will need some alliances first. And we do have some potential for alliances because we have a daughter who could potentially have a betrothal. Such as, oh, here, look at this. An alliance with the Kingdom of Sardinia. Maybe not with our eldest daughter, but we do have a 3-year-old daughter. Could we get a betrothal with Prince Amadei here in Sardinia? I'm definitely not opposed to that thought. I think that we will send that proposal. What about our daughter, our elder daughter, I should say, King Baduin of West Francia? That could be a good alliance as well. He is potentially a distant relative, and that does bring me back to our lineage. Now, we are distantly descended from House Carling. Obviously, the save file's bugged up. Our mother did have a family name. I think it was House Yemena? Maybe not. Somebody in the comments let me know who our mother's house was from. But she was actually descended from Carlings as well. On which side? I believe through Vasconia. I'm not entirely sure how we trace it back. We did once before. But we are definitely connected to the Carlings, I do believe. We will have to go and look through that, and if somebody in the comments remembers, because I do remember looking when we captured Aurea the first time, that there was that connection, that Carling connection, and though it may just be a connection through marriage. Somebody in the comments let me know, because yeah, I do not recall exactly how that connection is, and we can go and look at that. Later. But for now, I would like to get this potential alliance here with King Baduin of West Francia. That would be a good one, I think. This is a pretty big and powerful land just to the north of Aquitaine. I think it would be good to have that alliance there. He is a young man, ambitious, gluttonous, vengeful. He could have potentially a good future. And that will give us some strong alliances. I don't think we will be looking for a betrothal for our son just yet. We will see how that plays out more in the future. But once we get these alliances, we will be able to go and conquer lands like here in Alsarc. And there we go. 2 pretty powerful alliances. more, in fact, here, as you can see, West Francia, Sardinia, Tudela, and Aquitaine. All of these are alliances that will raise our influence, raise our power, and raise our possibilities in the future. And we will explore those possibilities in the next episode. Until then, I have been Straight, and we will see you then.